Hello and welcome to the Bishops, Widows and More. My name's Beverly Henderson and I'm the host. And today we have a special guest all the way from Kenya. And as you know, I deal with death of loved ones, and now that we're going into the Christmas season, usually this is a time when we really miss our loved ones. So today we're going to welcome to the show Pastor Nash, but I'm going to let him say his name, his correct way how to say his name. Welcome, Pastor Nash.
Thank you so much.
Now you tell me your name. Tell the audience your name.
My name is Nashon Otiato, pastor from Kenya, living in Migori County, Migori City, but staying right inside in the most rural part of that land of Kenya.
All right.
Yep.
So we're honored to have you on our show today. I know you're a busy man and you have lots to do in your short time, but as I said, this is a show where we deal with just bringing awareness to the church of how we deal with death in our life and what the church means to us. So tell me about yourself first.
Myself is a little bit long story, but I will make it a little bit short. I was born in a place called Otiato. Is a community within Migori County, where I come from, right inside the bush. And when I was born there, my parents died. My father died first, and then my mother died when I was 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew there as, orphan without parents. And with the nature of our country, it was terribly difficult to manage life there. So hence, I escaped from the rural and got into town where I could eat with my fellow boy street on the garbage. That's where I could eat,
When you say escape, tell me what you mean when you say escape. Were you escaping
because
from?
Because there was completely no way, nobody could take care of me.
All right.
And therefore, staying in that place was, going without food for several days.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to make my ways out from that place to get to Migori town, where we could eat from the leftovers of the hotels, where people eat, and then the leftovers we grab it with my fellow boy streets during that time.
So really you kind of grew up in the street.
Right, yeah, sure.
All right.
So after a while, along the street, then God led somebody who picked, the 5 of us from the street, and this was by the name, but then Pastor Charles. He took us away right from Migori town to Kisumu city. That's where I grew, in his house with his children. I was giving us food, gave us the shelter, and took us to school.
All right.
This is the only reason why I'm able to even come to America or able to speak English, because English is a language that is bought very expensively in Kenya.
Right.
Because we are not born with this. We have our native language. So he paid for my education and gave me the very best. But I decided when I grew up, I would also give back to what I was given with the man of God who really did my life. So this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm raising up children. I have 145 children whom we are raising and I've managed to build them a home where they stay, some very nice and wonderful houses where they live in, and give them hope.
Right. So now tell me, this is like a children's home.
This is like a children's home. I hardly don't want to call it orphanage.
Right,
because,
that's why I said a children's home.
Yeah, children's home. It is a home for the children.
That's right.
It's not an orphanage, but a home for children
A safe
who have
place.
no parents, who have no mama, but they are there. In that community, a lot of people live there, and actually life is very difficult. So this is why I have a place for better future and better hope for these children, to give them what I was also given. For the last 20 years, this is what I've been doing to make sure that I also meet the need of the children. Yeah.
So in that community, what can I say? They have a home. So I'm sure they must go to school as well too.
Yeah. I give them education. They go to school, and those who have finished with their grade 12, I have 6 of them that are supposed to join colleges by next year, God willing, if funds will be available. We also have those who are joining high school next year that would also need money, because in Kenya they don't offer free education right from primary level. Let me say from kindergarten to the highest level so far. You have to pay. And as I talk right now to my viewers who are seeing me, right now Kenya is more worse because the kind of leadership is horrible. The government is doing nothing to consider even the plights of the vulnerable children, those who have no future. The government is doing zero. You know,
right.
It's crazy. It's horrible, yeah.
I can imagine. I can try and imagine, let me say. So, with all of this, now you have children who have gone through death of their parents.
Yes.
From young kindergarten all the way up.
Yeah, sure.
How do they react to all this?
It is really crazy because it is traumatizing and very difficult, especially the one that came into our home early enough, those who we've stayed with, actually we have managed to bring hope to them and talk to them. And from my own story, I tell them,
right,
and I encourage them a lot. And they see that there is life even when you don't have parents. There is still a future for you.
That's it, because they look to you.
They look to me
as guidance.
They look to me, and they look to some that we have managed to raise up to the college level. They come back and they also help me to give them the hope and the future. So finally, they begin to cope up with the situation, and bit by bit, they finally, come into the system.
Right.
Yes.
So they become, after they go through from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade through college, they come back and give back to the children's home what they got from you.
Exactly.
And that's a great program.
Exactly.
I admire you greatly. And this is where, in the Western world, I'm from England and living here in America, education is free.
Wow.
We don't have to pay for education until you go to college, of course. That's right. And this is why we must be grateful. In a season like this, we just went through Thanksgiving, should be grateful for what we have, So tell me now, the churches that you're associated with, do you get help from the church to help the children's home, whether in Kenya or here in the United States?
The churches there are very poor. They are very poor, indeed very poor. I had some 5 friends who really helped me reach to some certain level with the program. But 2020, when the COVID came, they all died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they all died. But only remaining with one couple who really trying to help us a little bit in terms of food, but it's way far back. It's not enough. That's why I'm appealing for well-wishers to stand with us in whichever way possible, that we may really help these children in the very best way so far, because they are also human beings.
Yes, they are.
They cannot live without food. They cannot live without shelter, and they need clothes. They need the basic needs. You know, they have to get good water, and you know, get good education, and finally this will change them in their future.
So, tell us here in the United States, I'm giving you the open opportunity to tell us how we can help you in Kenya. I know Dr. Rose Sullivan has, you know, extended her hand. So how can we get funds to you and clothing, or what is it that you need? Let the viewers know how we can help.
Right now, we need help, and if by the grace of God things come to work well, number one help that we need is education. We already have home for children. We need education. Education in Kenya, I'm just surprised you telling me that you people don't pay for education in high school.
That's right, no, it's free.
In Kenya, it begins from the kindergarten. There are levies that is paid from primary level and secondary level. Secondary level, it is just too much. And if you are poor, you cannot raise like 70,000 Kenya cents. That's to the tune of maybe around $700 to pay for the student each year, you know.
Oh, wow.
It is next to impossible. And what we need again is when these children pass their exam and go to, have good grade from high school, then they join colleges, we need to give them, to support them, so that they can also achieve some skills that in turn will help them to come back and give back what they have been trained on. That is some of the things that we need. Another thing that we need help, what I've discovered in that community is we have an acute shortage of a health facility.
Right.
This, as a result, makes the community to suffer much because the people within the community are dying. We have what we call malaria, which is caused by mosquito. Mosquito is a deadly disease, and it kills so many people than even HIV/AIDS and any other disease. So, and you see, the mosquitoes are the insects that we live with them, even right in our houses. The only means that we use to protect is by the mosquito nets, to govern them. But at night, they will pave their ways, and sometimes when your net is torn, they will come in and you are beaten. Or even before that, during evening time or night time, dinner, they come and they bite, and you suffer.
Wow.
And it causes high fever, so much high fever, dehydration, and then too much headache. And as a result, people are very poor. They will not access to the medication.
That's it.
They cannot go to the hospital. And hence somebody, you know, they believe in my community is, let me be sick because I will be healed naturally.
Oh.
And hence instead of getting better, they die.
They die.
And when they die, the orphans are increasing. And when they increase, the community suffers a lot. This is where we will have the street boys who who will be sniffing the gum, and they run away from the community, and finally most of them turn to be crude people in the community. So it's just a lot.
A vicious cycle. A vicious cycle.
Yeah.
So, do you ever get any? I know they have these health groups or health teams that sometimes come into the communities to visit. Do they ever come in to visit where you are? The doctors and the nurses?
Never. They cannot come.
They cannot come.
They don't even come. We have them. I reach them even in my own country. I present the plight of the children, the need for the children. Where will you get the drugs? The doctor will tell you, okay, we can come, but we don't have the drugs. Why don't they have the drugs? We have drug peddlers.
Okay.
Those, when the drug come from the headquarters, they will never reach to the people down.
People who need them.
They are grabbed and they are taken to some rich people where they are needed, some rich private hospitals. They buy them from the government. The government officers will take the drug to bring the drug to the people right from the city of Nairobi. This drug, many times they have been caught having, taking the drug, deviating the direction of the drugs. They have been caught.
So the people in need never ever get the care.
Ever.
Never get the care, never get the food, never
get the drugs.
This is where the church, and like what Dr. Solomon wants to do, is to help to bring awareness to what is going on. Apart from the talk show that I have, bringing awareness of what is happening in your community and wanting to help. And wherever we can find our hands to do, we can help. Hopefully we will somehow have a phone number or something where people can contact Dr. Rose Solomon and her husband Elder Solomon, so that they can be able to give, so that somehow we can get the funds to you, so that you can do what you need for the children. Because yes, the children are left without parents, and if it wasn't for you and the few friends that you have, they would be without anything. They would be left, as you said, to the street.
Completely to the street.
To the street.
Yeah, completely to the street, because the like right now, if I can get means and ways of actually feeding them, food is very important. And in Kenya, we have one type of common food, that's local bread that we do, and some fish, because we hardly can buy beef because we don't have that money. So they don't even feed on beef, Fish is very important, fruits is very important. These are very, very important things, and also some vegetables, greens, and money for milk to also supplement on their diet.
Just simple things.
Just simple things, and those are things which are really, because, for example, when we have dinner and so many children want to eat, you'll find this group eat this, they don't eat that, this one eat this, they don't eat that.
And that's children all over. That's children all over.
During the feeding time, you can pull out your head because it is hard
I can imagine.
to imagine. This is why if God can make a way for us that we can have like $3,550 every month, that will be something good. We can deal with that situation, and children can be much more happy. So food is number one in life.
It is. It's the source of life.
The source of life. Yeah.
Food and water, fresh, clean water.
Yeah. I thank God. A good friend came to Otiato, and the water was dug. We have a very nice water. We only trust God for 2 tanks, 10,000 liters each, that we can pump this water from the water bowl to the tank, so the children can use it easily. To have those 2 tanks need like $1,600 dollars. Yeah.
So we are going to, as I said, do our utmost best to support Dr. Solomon. And I know she has a way of putting things out on the media so that we can help you in Kenya.
Right.
I know she would like to go over, and I hope one day that I can be able to visit myself now that I'm free to do certain things.
We want you to come over tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yeah, it'll be good. But I want to thank you very much for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for being with us. I know you're leaving back to Kenya soon.
Yeah, sure.
And we pray traveling mercies.
Thank you so much.
And we honor you for what you are doing for the children.
Right, sure.
And for yourself, because you know what it's like to go through. We thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, viewers, for tuning in again to the Bishop's Widows and More.
Thank you so much.
And as I said, Dr. Rose Solomon and Elder Solomon, they will get something up where you can donate to help the children in Kenya.
Yeah.
Thanks again for FRS for just allowing me to be on the show to bring awareness to us out there in the community, in the city. Thanks again for watching.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
God bless you.
You too.
Thank you.